The recipe for survival in the wild has always been a mystery. I thought the turtle soup was nourishing enough. I didn't expect there to be a master. It's no problem to just grab the rock dragon with your bare hands. Just by looking at the color, you can tell it's not simple. They took it here and roasted it to a charred color. Don't be fooled by the blackness. It's hard to swallow, but their expressions have said everything. I wonder if it's really that delicious. Omar participated in the Wilderness Survival Challenge again. That was very exciting. The environment here is very similar to that in my hometown. I feel that I have one half of the game. I just don't know how the matching mechanism is this time. Last time was quite bad. I almost couldn't help but be violent in front of the camera. So this time he prayed to his partner to be human. John is taking part in the challenge for the second time. Although I only endured for 14 days last time. But a long-term lack of food can starve oneself to death. Now we have to face a new environment. Deep down, there was a mixture of nervousness and a hint of anticipation. Hope everything goes smoothly. Omar has reached the starting point. It's time to show off the fat one has accumulated. Before coming here, I heard that there were quite a few snakes around. There's a chance to reward oneself with a big meal. The score based on the last performance was not very high. And John was still worried about the need for a hug at night. He is very loyal to his girlfriend. I don't mind if the program team tests some beautiful women. After all, the challenge has been accomplished. Expectations are sure to increase significantly. The moment John saw Omar, the heart is about to break into several pieces. I don't really want to hug a big shot at night. Interestingly, he has watched the partner challenge. It's really just a lot of tears. I once lay in bed for several months due to a car accident. From then on, did he feel there was nothing to be afraid of? Omar thinks the male partner is quite good. What's really the problem? It can be solved in a man's way. The second participation brings more targeted content. Mosquito nets can enable them to have a good sleep. It's just that the program team didn't provide a firearm. You have to figure out a way to rub the fire by yourself. Follow the map instructions to the big tree. Anyway, there's no need to worry about getting lost when going downstream. It can be regarded as a small gift from the program team to them. John still thinks the female partner is good, at least not worried about being beaten. Hope we can get along well together. Omar was quite satisfied with this arrangement. The smiles at the corners of the mouth were all made to curl up. In fact, there are also female players. Maru is on her way there to meet up. She is also a contestant who has participated in the challenge. Last time I came here, I was completely unprepared. It almost relies on the partner to exert force there. Although I did help myself, but everyone thought she won without much effort. The father also hopes that Maru can prove herself. So she came to take part in the challenge again. 21 days is not something you can win by lying down. Most of the things one fears are here. There is no doubt that Maru is playing with reality. Go and get the toolkit first. She was a little curious about where her partner had gone. I'm going to wait here myself. Let's go and explore first. Fortunately, I didn't dwell on it for too long. Just then, Omar's voice was heard. They didn't expect to see beautiful women in the wild. John felt that he had scolded too early. The program team is quite sensible. The three successfully joined together. Maru brought tape, as she did last time, with the help of a firearm. There is no problem at all in making a fire. Omar is very familiar with Maru. Watch her live stream every night. The content inside is explosive. Don't get it wrong. It's just to learn wilderness survival skills. All of them are fans participating in the challenge for the second time. Do you all think they can survive the 21 days? Now we need to go along the river to the big tree. Floods will break out here during the rainy season. Therefore, special attention should be paid to the location selection of the campsite. As for the food, it's not that bad. It all depends on whether everyone dares to go. The biggest problem should be mosquitoes. Be careful. What disease have you contracted? At present, the water level is still within the acceptable range. I was just a little worried when I heard the thunder. Suddenly it began to rain and the current was very rapid. They could only go ashore and set off first. Fortunately, the rain didn't last long, but still tortured them terribly. The temptation to get wet was staged right from the start. advised the program team to check the weather forecast before starting the challenge. It really exhausted them. This side looks similar to a map. It's better to camp as high as possible. After a short break, continue moving forward. John is very worried that there will be a flash flood. Rather walk a little longer than stay together. It's just that the road is full of thorns everywhere. The pain made them wailing like ghosts and wolves. Maru sounded quite speechless. Fortunately, the destination is not far away. Otherwise, the ears will be tortured to death. She really wants to build a small wooden house. After all, coming to take on the challenge is bound to lead to hunger. Only by setting up the shelter well. Only in this way can they have more rest to conserve their energy. In fact, it doesn't matter what you build. As long as the mosquitoes can be kept away, that's fine. Besides having to finish the shelter before it rains. The dry firewood also needs to be collected. See if the fire can be lit. Otherwise, one would surely shiver with cold at night. Everyone works together to build a shelter. The efficiency is quite high. The general framework has already been set up. Only the elevated bed is still available. Maru looked at this thing. I think it will collapse as long as the rain is a little heavier. If you don't want to become a drenched chicken, it would be best to make a readjustment. Omar thinks it's okay. It's fine to deal with it later when something goes wrong. Such a perfunctory attitude. It made Maru very unhappy. They set their sights on the ignition. Let me show you all the wonderful uses of adhesive tape. The material structure contained therein is flammable. Omar showed off a little bit. With just a few clicks, it was said to be lit up. Although it is easy to have fire-making tools, but it also exhausted him. It's just the first day, and I'm already feeling a bit overwhelmed. I've never been so tired from previous challenges. I'm really afraid of being eliminated and going home at the very beginning. It feels a little warmer at night with fire. Everyone took turns to keep watch and add firewood. Be sure to keep mosquitoes out. Everyone clearly uses mosquito nets, but there were still small insects crawling in. They couldn't think of any other way either, enduring the discomfort until dawn. I was very tired after a night of no words. When we woke up in the morning, we discussed fetching water first. By the way, check out what plants nearby can relieve the pain and itching. Everyone is not in good condition. Especially Omar exerted too much force yesterday. The back hurts like a tear. One can only stretch more and slow down. The feeling is not wrong. There is indeed something wrong with his old back. Standing hurts, but lying down hurts even more. All the work is left for others to do. Rather than doing nothing, it's better to take a chance. When seeing the river, one thinks of catching fish. They all succeeded in previous challenges. I'm very confident that I can get something to eat. Seal the opening first. It will be much easier to catch fish then. The principle of this fish basket is similar. Once you squeeze in, you can't get out. Unfortunately, the sky was not cooperative and thunder rumbled again. This is not the time to catch fish. We have to hurry back to improve the roof. It's already raining a little. The ground began to become slippery easily. It tortured Omar's old back to pieces. No one knows what's wrong with him. Anyway, my back hurts very much. All I could think about was going back to the shelter and lying there. The consolation from others was of no use. Omar came back and lay still. John didn't pay any attention to what he said. He just lay there motionless. Getting injured in the wild particularly affects one's mood. You should know that it's only the second day. What should Omar do next? There are no medicinal herbs available nearby either. He could only rely on himself to hold on. Maru saw her partner fall to the ground and not get up. I thought of my father lying in the hospital bed. It must have been even more uncomfortable than Omar at that time. I'm also a little eager to go home. It rained heavily again after nightfall. One person is lacking to look after the fire. The pressure has become extremely high. Can they really hold on until the end? The challenge has reached the third day. Omar didn't expect that he would be so miserable. At least I could still walk around in the last challenge. The pain is so intense now that it's hard to even turn around. I can only keep lying down, hoping to heal myself. Maru is in a very bad mood. It turned out to be the day before the challenge. The father was sent to the ICU for observation. I'm very afraid that I won't even be able to see you for the last time. but I don't want to disappoint his expectations. The father hopes that Maru can constantly break through the limits, stay longer in survival in the wild. She said these not to make excuses. Just want to go home and visit my family. Hope the partners can be a little stronger. Everyone is shouldering a lot of pressure. Strive to overcome and defeat it. John quite agreed with that. He once had a car accident and lay in a hospital. I understand Maru's concern very well. At that time, everyone said that John wouldn't live to be discharged from the hospital. But with the encouragement of the family, I stood up again by myself. Challenges can be participated in many times. Some things, once missed, will never come again. Hope Omar can also do his best. The back injury is sure to recover well. Maru hugged the team before leaving. She really wants to complete the challenge before visiting her father. Just as soon as I saw Omar lying in discomfort, I just couldn't hold back my emotions any longer. Hope this roll of tape can bring good luck. She can go hungry for 21 days. But I can't stand 21 days. I don't even know if my father is well. With Maru's departure, only the two of them continue to face the challenges. To be precise, it was John alone. Omar's back still has to wait for some time. If there is no improvement, I'm afraid I have to say goodbye to everyone again. John had a very bad headache. Be mentally prepared to take on the challenge alone. The challenge has reached the 4th day. It's rare that Omar is feeling a little better. The two can go and check the condition of the fish cage. It's really necessary to have some food to replenish energy. The two were quite lucky. As soon as they arrived, they found a turtle. This is quite nourishing when used to make soup. It's a pity that there isn't much meat in it. It's been too long since I last smelled the aroma of meat. I really want to make myself so confused. Omar swore that this chicken was the best he had ever eaten. Good grief. It's true that everything tastes like chicken. It would be great if there could be a few more. I dare not say that I can definitely take on the challenge, but at least one can hold on for a few more days. It's a pity that Maru isn't here. I really wish she could have a taste too. I don't know if it's because the meat is too fragrant. There are particularly many mosquitoes after nightfall. Most of the time, engage in hand-to-hand combat with them. For a small part of the time, it's just giving up resisting and getting bitten. I have no idea why this is the case at all. The mosquito net in front is quite useful. Why did Maru lose its effectiveness as soon as she left? It was not easy to hold on until dawn. There were quite a few more wounds on the body. I really regarded them as a buffet. Omar was so itchy that he wanted to cut his flesh apart. John hardly slept at all, although the mental state is not good. But one still has to explore in the jungle. Looking at Omar lying still, I've tried to persuade and scold myself. Anyway, Omar just wouldn't move. He just wants to lie down and keep sleeping for a while. It's really not being lazy or making excuses, but I'm really tired and don't want to talk. Perhaps it's time to quit the challenge and go home to rest. John didn't give up his partner. Try to find more food. It can make Omar get better. I originally just wanted to deal with palm cores. I didn't expect to find nuts there. Anyway, take as much as you can. These packed up are enough for 2 people to eat. During the collection process, mosquitoes kept buzzing in my ears. I really want to set a fire on myself. Let's take some food back to eat first. Omar felt energetic the moment he heard there was food. It's just about helping to pry open the shell. It should be no problem for oneself. Pick up the stone and throw it at the tip. Take the fruit easily. I'm tired, either very tired or feeling uncomfortable with my back bent. And this process will consume a lot of time and energy. Roast the fruits in the fire. It smells as inviting as popcorn. It's just that Omar hasn't improved. I've been holding on there all along. Although willpower is very important in survival in the wild, but one cannot ignore the warnings on oneself either. I'm really afraid that one day he won't wake up again. It began to rain at night. The temperature keeps dropping. It would be better to be bitten by mosquitoes, nor do I want to shiver with cold. And in order to stabilize the heat of the flame, the consumption of firewood has increased exponentially. The most terrifying thing is that it keeps raining nonstop. Give them no chance to go out and collect firewood at all. Now the shelter is just like an ice storage. Lying in there, sooner or later you'll freeze into a muggle. Although the scene of men embracing each other is hard to break, but it's still better than having problems due to hypothermia. We managed to hold on until dawn by relying on each other's warmth. It's just that the rain keeps falling. The fire has long been extinguished. Give them no chance to make a fire at all. The shelter here is just like a puddle. From time to time, water drops fall down. Omar's body was almost at its limit. He kind of wants to quit the challenge and go home. John knew that his partner was having a hard time. Staying on is just tormenting oneself. However, he still hopes to hold on a little longer. Leave John here. It's also very difficult for him to shine and make a difference here alone. The worst thing is that the roof can't bear it. Originally, Omar had an injury on his back. This is even worse now. Fortunately, John was able to hold it off. But how long can this last? Trees have to be cut down quickly to improve the shelter. With the joint efforts of the two, they finally managed to fix it. The challenge has reached the 8th day. The water level has risen quite a lot. Omar was very painful when he was soaked in water. Interestingly, he doesn't feel hungry at all. Sometimes I even feel my stomach is bloated. Good grief. You really take the northwest wind as your food. And John was reinforcing the shelter there, mainly because the camp was expanded at the very beginning. The process of improvement is quite tiring. Moreover, a flame is needed for warmth at night. What no one expected was, there are still contestants coming at this time. Dany feels very lucky. Joined the team temporarily to take part in the challenge. It's just about staying for 14 days. I'm confident that I can take it directly. I usually lead a rather wild life. Anyway, wherever there is danger, she is there. I'm not worried about going hungry myself. On the contrary, mosquitoes have a greater impact on people's mentality. A pot and fishing tools have been prepared. Now we're going to meet up at John's place. Can Dany's joining change the situation? Let's continue watching together. For her, being completely naked in the jungle. That was quite novel and interesting. After being washed by the heavy rain, the situation on the ground is very bad. It took quite a lot of time to get here at the camp. John and the Omar were both stunned. There will still be new people joining this challenge. The team atmosphere improved instantly. Their first impression of Dany. That must mean being particularly hungry. It feels like eating some insects can complete the challenge. John thinks that 21 days and 14 days are very different, especially when Maru withdrew and Omar got injured. The pressure on myself is just too great. Now, see Dany bringing fishing gear. I am confident that I can complete the challenge. Omar saw the new people join. The whole person was extremely excited. Even making a fire can be done easily. Is this the inspiration brought by newcomers? Dany threw himself into the work soon. I have quite a bit of energy since I just arrived. Do as much work as possible for the team. They just lay there resting and looking at Dany. The smile at the corner of the mouth was almost uncontrollable. I wish it could last until the end. Of course, it's just a thought. Of course, after having a good rest, we have to work hard on the infrastructure together. I saw someone lying next door at night. John was in a very good mood. Omar even made eye contact with Dany directly. Good grief. They are probably too excited to sleep tonight. One can only turn to the other side to avoid embarrassment. The challenge has reached the 9th day. With Dany's joining, the team was experiencing a second spring. Be more actively engaged in the search for food. I don't know if the fish here are too cunning. It's still because they don't cooperate well enough. After being busy for so long, there are only 2 small fish left. John thought it was already very wonderful, thanks to Dany's joining. Otherwise, Omar would have to cry on the ground hungry by himself. Small fish soup also has a unique flavor. Don't be fooled by the fact that there isn't much meat. The 3 of them managed to fill their stomachs. The challenge has reached the 11th day. To prevent mosquitoes from getting into the shelter. That ruined all the palm leaves around. I originally thought that it would be fine as long as it was set up here. Unexpectedly, the mosquitoes launched an attack in advance and burgled inside. Now we can only carry out the extermination within this area. Obvious red dots have appeared on Dany's body. I believe there will be more and more wounds in the future. The situation got worse after nightfall. It feels like taking a big breath can catch mosquitoes. There's hardly any intact skin on the body. I really want to peel it off to relieve the itch. Fortunately, the shelter was reinforced in advance. Otherwise, if it rains in the middle of the night, the house will collapse again, except for a few small raindrops getting in. There is nothing wrong with the protection at all. The main task next is to find something to eat. It's still a long distance from here to the evacuation point. It is definitely necessary to have food to fill one's stomach. Omar is not as positive as Dany was when he came. Lie on the ground and rest whenever you have free time. I'm really afraid that one day I'll never wake up again. Does Dany know that he has hardly eaten any food? If this continues, it might last until the end. But going back will definitely require a long period of treatment. Do you all think it's worth it for Omar to take on the challenge? I wonder what others think. Anyway, John doesn't want to lose his teammates anymore, constantly comforting and encouraging in the shelter. To my surprise, Dany went out to look for food. Pick up the worms directly as bait. More fish should be caught for the team. The rainstorm had no effect on her at all. The usual work was even more fierce than it is now. It's Dany's comfort zone now. I almost caught a fish just now. All the photographers were there influencing the performance. Facts prove that there's still food. It just requires a little luck. At present, nuts are relatively accessible. Just smash it hard and you can put it in your mouth to eat. If there is no mosquito disturbance. I had already prepared it myself and gone inside to rest. Dany is indeed a good partner. There is no intention of winning without effort at all. I've been doing my best to help the team. The challenge has reached the 16th day. Before, some small fish could still be seen coming out. Now the water level is rising and it's more difficult to catch fish to eat. I originally intended to prepare some nuts. I didn't expect that a lizard would come to visit. I've decided to eat you tonight. Dany was just about to start. The lizards have already disappeared. My mood instantly dropped significantly. Go back to the camp and lie down slowly. She never dreamed that there would be door-to-door delivery. I haven't even seen clearly yet. Dany had already rushed forward and caught it. On closer inspection, it turned out to be Sherlongsy. The nutritional value is quite high. She doesn't know which variety it is either. Anyway, having meat to eat is enough. Omar came back and saw food to eat. In an instant, I felt that Dany was shining. I hope there will be a dozen teammates like this. Has anyone ever eaten roasted stone dragon nuts? This is the first time for Omar to eat. It smells quite nice. Put it in your mouth resolutely and taste it carefully. For them, it's fine as long as they can eat. Anyway, after roasting, it's all crispy chicken flavor. Thank you to the program team for arranging Dany to join the team. Otherwise, Omar would surely have held on and gone home first. It saw that the end of the challenge was getting closer and closer. Team relationships are getting better. There is a brief communication every night. Everyone is in a good mood. It's just that Omar has a slight problem with his body. I hope it can hold on. Unconsciously, the day of evacuation has arrived. Although everyone is in a rather excited mood. But crossing the jungle is really tiring. You are sure to encounter thorns and mosquitoes on the way. Be careful, and you can still handle it. I'm just afraid that my body won't be able to hold on and I'll fall down. By then, I'm afraid I'll have to climb to the finish line no matter how hard I try. Head towards the mountain first. After reaching the highest point, you can enter the jungle. Everyone was trying their best with all their might. As long as it's not bitten by a venomous snake, it's fine. Anyway, it's just about walking on the thorns while crying out in pain. The situation was even worse after reaching the top of the mountain. Every step I take will be bitten by an ant. Dany could only speed up partially to avoid being bitten more. Even if the skin on the feet is thick, it can't prevent thorns. Omar also experienced cramps in his left foot. It seems that the progress is about to come to an end. I hurried to help them speed up the process. It won't be long before we arrive at the car road. The carriage of the program team also arrived on time. Congratulations to them on successfully taking on the challenge. Another group of starving experts have been trained. I wonder who else wants to suffer later. Let's wait and see together.